If you have the idea of who you want to be, you're already ready to be her. You're just waiting for someone to give you permission to become her. So why are you waiting that 5 years? Let's dive into her now. Let's become her now. You already have the idea. You already know who you want to be. Why are you stopping yourself from being her?
Welcome to the Unfiltered Tea with Evie podcast, where personal brands and service providers come for honest, anti-sleaze marketing advice that actually works. I'm Evie Tavares, founder of Evie Tavares Branding, and if you're tired of manipulative tactics, sleazy marketing strategies, and feeling like you're the only one who doesn't have your business all together, you're in the right place. On this podcast, we're diving into copywriting, personal branding strategy, business mindset, and balancing business with kids and real life. I'll be bringing in some epic guests, including business experts, to share their insights and real experiences in life and business. You can expect real life stories, tactical tips, and the occasional spicy Evie moment, all served up with your morning cup of tea. So grab your tea, get cozy, and let's get into it. I'm so excited for you to dive into this next guest episode of the Unfiltered Tea with Evie. We cover everything from visibility, confidence, mindset, personal branding, showing up on socials, all of the things. And this guest is a good friend of mine. We've been doing a lot together lately, a lot of supporting each other through our own growth. So without further ado, our next guest, Victoria Mae. Victoria is a brand photographer, marketing strategist, and is on a mission to build the largest personal brand agency for women in Canada. She helps women to be seen, and she's living proof that being seen changes everything, because you can't buy from someone you don't know exists. From brand photography to full content strategy, Victoria builds the kind of visibility that turns followers into clients and dreams into thriving businesses. So lean in and enjoy the episode. Welcome back to another guest episode. I am so excited to have Victoria Mae here with us today. Victoria, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me, Evie. I'm so stoked to be on here with the Unfiltered Tea.
Yeah, I'm stoked to have you. To get started, in case somebody's not familiar with you, which I don't know why they wouldn't be, they should be. No.
That's so sweet of you.
Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do, kind of in your own words.
Wow, that's like a loaded question. So Evie and I are actually going through a program right now where we're rejiving our entire identities, basically. So answering this for the first time since doing that is fun. I am an agency owner for a personal branding agency. I started off as a brand photographer, and it's grown into done for you content, UGC, and just helping people show up online better. So it's been a really wild ride and journey and adapting that new identity as an agency owner.
I love that. And like you mentioned, we've been kind of going through this together. And I think it's been really cool from my point of view to kind of see that shift for you. And like, obviously, I've had a lot of shifts as well. So this is like totally off topic, but this is just
Totally
like a
okay.
testament. This is like a testament to investing in yourself and kind of really envisioning that bigger version of yourself and your business that you need to become in order to have the success that you're looking for. And I think that also ties in really nicely to the conversation that we're going to have today.
Well, I'm excited to dive in.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. So you're on a mission right now, like you said, to kind of build the largest personal brand agency in Canada for women, which I love. Where did that come from? And what does that mean for you at its core?
That's a great question. So I've always known that I'm meant for something big. And the last, I would say, year, I felt like I was just floating by in my business, like just continuing at the status quo. And I didn't really have that North Star of where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do with my life. But I also, at the same time, was working with my own insecurities, my own inner narratives, and realizing that the same thing that I'm preaching, I'm struggling with. And I think that that's sometimes a clue into what it is that you are supposed to do and what your life mission is where are you actually finding the most friction in your internal dialogue, because that's typically the thing you need to go towards. And so just sitting with that of like wanting more women to be confident, more women to step into their full purpose. And I know that when I'm operating in my best, highest self, I feel confident. I feel like I can do anything. And I just love cheering people on to get them there. And so this agency just it was already building. I already felt like I had outgrown the title of just photographer because I did so much more with creative directing and all the other offers that I had, but it was still just called Victoria Mae Photo. And the box wasn't fitting anymore with my goal of wanting to see more women show up in a bigger way. I was already working in personal brands, and I just want to be able to help as many women show up, be authentically themselves, and be the multi-passionate women we are.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. I love that. And for both of our audiences, they know that they need to be visible. They know that they need to be seen, but there's something stopping them.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say in your experience is kind of behind that resistance?
Ooh, I would say a lot of it is their internal dialogue. A lot of it is the thought that they need to all or nothing, be perfect right away. If you go to the gym, the first time you go to the gym, maybe don't pick up a 50-pound weight. Maybe don't try to do pull-ups. Like, you're going to be so humbled. Like, maybe try it once just so you can have that humility moment if you need that check. But like, you're going to start with your little 2-pound, 5-pound weights and build up to it. And so I think that's the same thing with visibility and building a personal brand is it doesn't have to be perfect. It's actually better to bring people along the ride with you. And I mean, people love to come along for the ride, right? Like, you see all these people, Jessie J is probably one of the most talked about internet ladies right now, but she started 6 months ago, brought people along the ride, and now she's had a $6 million launch. So running with that.
Right.
So I just think that shows the testament of bringing people along and not waiting until it's perfect. Mm-hmm. Because if you're waiting till it's perfect, you actually aren't getting the reps in.
Mm-hmm. And kind of along those same lines, what would you say is the difference between forcing something like that and keeping it true to you and true to yourself?
Absolutely. Actually, I was just talking about this with another friend. I love this exercise. I've done it myself. And what it is go through all of the testimonials that you've had from your clients and start to see the things that they're saying about you, not about the services, but about you, and find what are those thorough threads. So for me, when I did this, I realized everything was talking about how much fun it was. But none of my branding, none of my marketing talked about the fun. And I was like, people don't know that I'm fun until they actually are in my presence. And so I realized I needed to start injecting some of that fun. And I had gone that classic pink, elegant, scripty writing vibes. But that just wasn't authentic to me. But at the same time, you do have to start somewhere. So sometimes you just have to put your stake in the ground, start and continue to pivot and be okay with the pivot. And I think that's one of the things that's so beautiful about personal brands is that you can continually pivot because it's based on you, not based on a specific service or offer.
I like that you brought that up because I think that's such an important thing that people think they have to have it all figured out right at the beginning. Mm-hmm. They have to have their messaging, their positioning. They have to whatever branding they go with at the start is the branding they have to stay with. But I think it takes the experience, I would say within the first, I don't know, 2 to 5 years probably is where you're still really in that stage of figuring out what you like, figuring out who you like working for, what are people looking for when they come to you. It's all part of the growth and process of having a business.
Absolutely. It really is. It's a constant pivot. And even when you think you've arrived, you haven't. You're still iterating. You're still rolling out new things. You're still trying new stuff. And even I think about applying to this to showing up on socials. One of the arguments for showing up as often as some people do is to get more statistics on what's working, what's not. Because once you know what's working, then you can double down on that. And I'm a big fan of if you know something works, let's dive into that.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what Jessie Jean did. She had one reel where she was talking about the step-by-step of making a Yap video. And that went absolutely viral. And then she built an entire course on it.
Which is genius, right? And you also in that get to know what are people wanting from you, right? Okay. So instead of just creating solely from what you want, you get to create from a place of service. And when you're coming from a place of service, you too are also going to realize that the attention is actually not on you, even though you're building a personal brand. You
Mhm.
get to actually serve others through it. And it's actually just a tool to continue to be of service. And I think as women, we're all innately helpers. And so we want to be helpful. And I think that's why people get scared of sales and all of that is because they want to help, they want to be of service. And so keeping that in mind that the more you put out into the world, the more data you get to actually refine and serve the people who are needing you.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So you talk about seeing yourself or your clients embody the woman that they want to become, but how does that actually work and how does it show up in a photo shoot or with creative direction that you offer?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I do in my process is I send out a pre-production questionnaire. No matter what we're working on, I want to get into it. And I'm actually thinking of renaming the pre-production questionnaire into like a onboarding questionnaire, but instead of it being me onboarding them, they're onboarding me as a part of their team, because really that is what it is. That's what the whole point of the questionnaire is to get me into their business and get me understanding where they're at, but most importantly, where they're going. And so when I start designing a photo shoot, designing campaigns, designing socials, whatever it is, we're not just thinking about where they are, we're thinking about where they're going and how do we start positioning them for that version of themselves. And what's really cool is that, especially on photo shoots, when they get to step into that persona of the woman they want to be for a couple hours, then afterwards they've seen themselves, they've experienced themselves living that life out. And then they get the photos and they go, "Oh, wait a second, I'm actually her now." And honestly, it's one of my favorite side effects. As much as I love the marketing and the strategy behind it, I love seeing that click moment of a woman like stepping into the person that she didn't think she could become until like 5 years. She's like, 5-year plan. This is who I want to be. And suddenly, she's like, plot twist, I'm her now. And you start seeing it become a reality so much faster.
Because once they kind of start operating as that future self, they're going to do things and say things and show up in a way that's going to bring that future self to now. Like you said, like you just start
100%.
embodying this whole other version of yourself that's ready to have that visibility and ready to step out on socials or
100%.
wherever it may be.
100%. I think it was Elizabeth Gilbert in Big Magic. She talked about how ideas are actually like a entity of their own. And so that they'll come to you, and if you don't act on the idea, then it will find someone that will execute it. And so it's just this kind of like a little woo idea, but like I'm loving it for this because I think it's the same thing with like, if you have the idea of who you want to be, you're already ready to be her. You're just waiting for someone to give you permission to become her. So why are you waiting that 5 years? Let's dive into her now. Let's become her now. You already have the idea. You already know who you want to be. Why are you stopping yourself from being her? Why are you waiting until a day that's not even promised to become the woman you want to be?
I love that. I feel like that's a mic drop moment right there.
Thanks.
So what about for somebody who's like camera shy? Because a lot of women really struggle with stepping in front of the camera, not only like their phone camera, but also like the big, cameras that you use, the big lenses. It can feel like a little bit intimidating, or they're convinced that they're not photogenic. What do you say to women who are kind of struggling with that?
Can you repeat the question one more time for me?
Yeah. So for women who feel like they're not photogenic, they're not confident enough in front of the camera, what would you say to them to get them to feel more willing to step in front of the camera?
Okay, so I actually have a fundamental belief that's definitely not loved by other photographers, and you'll know why in a second. It's that I believe that it's not you. It is the photographers that you've had in the past. And it's the photographer's job to hold that space for you, to be beautifully and authentically you in that moment and embrace all of the good that comes with that. And if you've worked with a photographer that didn't offer that for you, over time, you start to build that, oh, I'm awkward in front of the camera. I'm not confident in front of the camera. And so it's having that trust and that relationship with a photographer who can hold that space for you. But oftentimes this like started when you were a kid and your mom was telling you to say cheese too much, or like the dreaded school photos, right? So I'm not saying it's like even maybe necessarily like the most recent photographer, but you do need to recognize that that's something that most people are working through is insecurities, and we need to hold the space for them to not be focusing on the insecurities, but be focusing on the things we need to celebrate.
I love that. That's so true. So shifting a little bit towards confidence and mindset, what is the mindset shift that you see most often in women, like right before they have like a big quantum leap in their business?
I think it's that they can see that the woman that they thought they would be in 5 years, that 5-year plan, that they could actually be her now. I think that's the biggest mindset shift. And I think one of the things that's so powerful about the photography aspect of that is that you actually do get to see it, right? And so often seeing is believing, right? So maybe you felt like you were putting on a dress up during the photo shoot, but then when you actually see it and you're using these photos all the time, you actually start to believe it, but also people are believing it with you because you've shown up that way and they're starting to hold you to a new standard. So you have to show up for the standard you've now set for yourself. So it's sort of like a journey mindset shift versus a like singular mindset shift.
That's so true. It's like little actions every day, like you said, becoming her now.
Exactly. And a huge part of that is showing up, allowing yourself to be visible. And I know that I've brought up photography a lot, but I think it's just because that's, kind of step one in the visibility journey is getting some assets to use, but then it's rolling into the actually using of the assets, because photos aren't going to do anything for you sitting on your hard drive. It's now let's actually show up. Let's use them. Let's be on socials. Let's get comfortable. And the reason that I lead with a photo shoot versus like getting comfortable is because getting comfortable in front of the camera when you're the one that has to hold the space for yourself with your own insecurities is actually a really hard task. So it's almost like going into a gym. You've never been into the gym before. And I just love the gym analogy.
Yeah.
But you've never been into the gym before. And they have all these wild machines and you don't know how to use the machines. Or you can go and you can do a class and they teach you what to do, right? Or they show you what to do, or you get a personal trainer. And it's that difference of when you're doing it on your own, it's going to be a little bit of a longer process to figure out how to show up confidently, because you have to now coach yourself through it instead of having someone be there to guide you along.
And have you ever had a moment where you had to practice what you preach, but it was really difficult for you or really uncomfy for you?
Yeah. I'm sure I have it. I'm sure you have too. And I want to like reverse you on this afterwards. But yeah, I mean, all the time, I find that I've definitely I wasn't showing up maybe, let's say about a year and a half ago. I was not showing up online the way that I should. And I say should. The way that I wanted to is probably the better way to do that, because there's no right should. It all depends on your own journey. But I was not showing up the way I wanted to. I wasn't showing the fun. I wasn't showing what it's like. And I wasn't investing in my own visibility, but I was telling other people to. So I just found that there was this sticking point. And the moment I started actually practicing what I preach, people realized, oh, she's not just telling us, she's actually walking the walk. She's showing us the thing. I trust her because she's done it for herself. Let me walk through it with you too. But, I think we're all human and we're all going to have seasons where we don't want to show up all the time. And I actually, ironically, the last couple of weeks have not been showing up as much. And that's just because I'm doing some pivots on the back end and not practicing what I preach of bringing people along for the journey. But it can feel heavy. And when you're working through that stuff, it can feel like a lot. And there is, some aspect of bringing them along on the journey, but not too messy, people want to come along the journey, but have a starting point for the journey. And I think I've been in a season of I don't know where to start right now, maybe.
I've heard the analogy of if you're going through something, it's better to post from when that's a scar. If you want to share it, share it when it's a scar. When you've already if you're going through something big and you haven't fully recovered from it yet, that's probably not the time. I mean, to
exactly.
But
exactly.
What I've learned is it's better to post from a place of you've already healed. If that's what you need to get through it and to heal is to not talk about it yet, then that's okay too.
Exactly.
But you can still share when it's from a place of it's a scar now, and here's how I kind of worked through it. Here's what I was going through. If you want to, I feel like you don't have to share everything. I think that's a big misconception.
Absolutely. People think that because they have a personal brand, they need to show everything. Let's look at like the Kardashians, because they're the epitome of personal brands. Like they've got all of their businesses, but like we all know like when it's a Kardashian business, right? And they lead first, like they're Kardashians first with businesses around them. And we do not know. They have a TV show that lets us into their lives. We do not know everything. They curate what they want us to see. They curate the narrative they want us to have. And that's, I mean, fabulous, because it teaches us little people, little chicken nuggets in the air fryer, as Christina Bartold says. I mean, compared to Kardashians for sure. But it teaches us that we can also have things we don't want to share with the entire world, because having a personal brand does not mean you have to bare your whole life to everyone. You can still pick and choose the parts that you want to share, and that makes sense for the business and life that you are building.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And to answer your question, I think you reversed me on that one.
Yeah, I did.
I feel like it's similar for me. Like I talk about like consistency, and that's really pushed me. Like I would say, especially with the email list, like I've been really pouring a lot into the email list lately.
It's amazing.
And to me, it was part of that. Like I tell other people to be consistent with it. And then there's some weeks where I'm like, oh, I don't have time. I don't know what to write. Like I feel that too. So like definitely my clients feel that, but like I also feel that sometimes. So definitely just like putting my foot down on what the strategy is behind it, and then forcing myself to show up every week in email. It's been, I don't know how many in a row now, but I've been doing better with it. But that was definitely like like I tell everybody to be consistent and I'm not being consistent. Like, yeah.
I totally get that. So that year and a half ago when I was like not really showing up, I made the commitment. I almost always, even if the client hasn't purchased B-roll or video, I almost always will still bring a B-roll person with me, and it just pivots them from focusing on the client to focusing on me on every shoot, because it just allows me to show up the way that I'm saying that we need to show up. And so sometimes it's investing, right? Like, and sometimes it's not sexy in the consistency. Like discipline is not sexy, but it's the thing that's going to move the needle the fastest.
Yeah, 100%. What would you say if somebody feel like they needed to wait until they've quotation marks made it before they start showing up in this way? What would you say to them?
You're not going to make it till you show up. Yeah, I think it's like literally walking them through the mindset shift of, listen, I know that you don't want to show up until you've made it, but no one can buy from someone they don't know exists. So how are you possibly going to make it until you show up? And you do have to show up first, and then the success follows.
So true. I love that. Okay. I want to talk a little bit more about your own vision for your business, because we touched on that a little bit earlier. So building the largest personal brand agency for women in Canada. I totally see that for you, and I'm so excited.
Thank you. I'm excited also.
Yeah. What does that look like for you right now? Like day to day? What are you doing to kind of work towards that?
Absolutely.
Speaking of sharing the journey.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, one of the things that I'm doing, we actually learned from Vanessa Bowens, of listening to my CEO mantra every single day. So she had us write out, for those who don't know, she had us write out a CEO purpose, a CEO creed, and a CEO
manifesto.
Manifesto, like the whole thing, and then record it for ourselves so we can re-listen to it every day. So I have been doing that practice of listening to it every day. And it's so funny because it does actually help you step into that person that you are wanting to become faster, because you're like, oh, I actually am already here, because it's all in first person. You start hearing little ways that you're like, oh, I say I do that. I have not been doing that. I need to be doing that. Or little things that you're like, I have not adopted this very small habit that actually would get me way closer. Like, for example, and this is like such a superficial thing, but as girls, when our hair is done, we like feel our best, you know? But it's also one of those things that I neglect. But I know I feel my best when my hair is done. So in my manifesto, I have that I get my hair like done every quarter, and I don't like, I'm always feeling beautifully blonde. And why don't I do it? It's because time passes. I keep putting off the appointment. It just like is one of those things that I'm just like, oh, my hair looks fine enough. But accepting that over myself when that's something that I really want to work towards, there's no reason I can't just, when I'm at my appointment, book the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But it becomes one of those things that I just keep putting off. So that's one of the things that's helping me step into embodying the person I want to become. And I just use the hair as a light, fun example of ways that you can start to become the person you want to become without like a major investment. Like this isn't $100,000 mastermind that I need to attend. It's literally just booking some hair appointments and not waiting a full year to get it done. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like that's one of the big things that I'm doing to step into being that person. And even like before coming on the podcast, re-listening to it so that I'm freshly like energized on what my goal is, what my purpose is, what my North Star is. And then every decision I make throughout the day is pointing back to that same thing. And I think that this is actually one of the most powerful tools women can adapt and bring into their business to have them go where they want to go. Because without a North Star, how are you even actually making decisions? How are you actually deciding what's best for where you're going when you don't know where you're going?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found a huge difference from doing the same. And it's funny that we talked about like listening to it, like recording yourself and listening to it. It seems like something so small, but the mornings are busy. Like I've got 2 young kids I have to wake up and feed with my eyes open. Like I try to make my mornings as relaxed as possible, which is part of the manifesto that I have as well. But being able to just listen to it and listen to like when you're talking about it, you're excited talking about it. You're like in that moment of like, this is what my dream is. And it really gets you into that headspace, like you said. And then all the decisions you make, like I started getting dressed, like more dressed up every day since I started doing it. Like it's just like little things like that help you to embody it. Even like wearing perfume. Perfume used to be like special occasion thing for me. I don't wear it every day. Now I wear it every day because it makes me feel good and it makes me feel like I'm like that next level version of myself or whatever that is. And it's just like the most underrated thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually so wild how sometimes it's those little things that help you embody. And that getting dressed thing, I want to park on there for a second too. If you are an entrepreneur working from home, please get yourself dressed like you're meeting with a client every single day. Because that's something that I've noticed as well, Evie, is that since we've done this, I've started getting dressed every single day. And the days that I just want to be comfy because I'm not seeing one and I'm just at home, I embody that comfy feeling in my productivity. Whereas when I'm dressed and ready to see a client, I feel like I am the CEO. If a client needs to hop on a last minute call, I am ready to hop on a call. Like I feel good. I'm also ready to film content at any time because I got myself ready. So it becomes less of that burden between showing up and being visible as well. Because at any point I'm like, oh yeah, I look cute enough. I can film versus like, oh, I have this great idea is forgotten or it gets pushed to the side because now I'm too busy the day that I am dressed up. And instead I'm ready to go at any time for visibility.
Yeah. And sometimes when those ideas happen, you have to strike while the iron's hot because you're excited about it and like you just need to get it out of your system.
Exactly. Whether it's showing up on stories, which is actually like so powerful to show up on stories. I think it's an underrated thing. Honestly, your content that you're putting out into the world, I feel like really is nurturing, but it's in the stories that you're actually going from like warm to hot with your clients. And so I think like be ready to hop on stories at any time because you can yap a little more, which is really trending. You can, show up more authentically when you have the idea. You can process it with your followers. You can do quick polls of, hey, I'm thinking about this and this and get real time feedback. So you're not wasting your time on working on something that maybe your clients aren't interested in. Or anyways, I just think being ready all the time helps you embody the person, but also allows you to show up for that visibility because you don't have that sticky point of, well, I'm in my sweatpants, so not today.
To kind of expand on that a little bit, When we're talking about the connection between visibility and revenue?
Yeah.
What would you say, where does that connection come from? And what do you wish more people or more women understood about that?
Well, that is such a good question. I mean, I think it goes back to the heart of people can't buy what they don't know is available to buy. So whether it's they don't know you exist, whether it's they don't know what your availability is, whether it's they don't know what your offers are, but also that connection of like, really, people do need to hear things 12 plus times the exact same way. And you don't want the 12th time to be your competitor. So if you've been saying something nonstop, or you feel like you've been saying it nonstop, but your client hears it the 12th time from your competitor and suddenly they booked with you and you're like, what the heck? We've been having this conversation. All that means is you dropped the ball on some of your visibility. And so I think there's really such a connection between showing up, showing you're available, showing what your offers are ad nauseum. You're the only one getting sick of it because only 3% of your followers are seeing your content. So keep going, keep showing up.
Just keep going.
See those dollars grow.
Yeah.
Have you experienced in your business a difference of when you show up and revenue?
I think what I've noticed is, yes, the visibility and the consistency in the visibility, but it's also the energy behind showing up makes a difference, which is something else that I've also been really working on. We've talked multiple times now about showing up as that future CEO self. That's the energy that's going to attract more customers. That's the energy that your clients want you to show up with. And I have noticed a difference that when I show up with that energy and like confident in my offers and confident in myself, that's when I see more of the success come with that.
Yeah, honestly, it is the both and. Like, you get to embody it and people want to come along. People love to see the journey and they love to root for people that are putting themselves out there, right? And I love the trend that's going on of like, it's only cringe until someone said, you inspired me to do it. And right. So just remember, like, keep showing up because it will help you believe in yourself, but it will also help others believe in you too. So I've definitely seen that happen in my business. And I just want more women to know that it's possible for them too.
Amazing. Okay. I've loved this conversation and I want to give people an opportunity. Where is the best place for people to find you, connect with you, work with you, all of the things?
Yeah, so you can find me on my website, victoriamae.ca, and Mae is spelled M-A-E. Or you can find me on socials at Victoria Mae Brands.
Perfect. Amazing. Yeah. Before I let you go, I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Sure.
Rapid fire that never end up being rapid, but that's okay.
That's okay. I'll try.
Yeah. We'll start with an easy one. What's your coffee or tea order that you usually get?
Ooh, I don't know if I can be rapid with this. I love tea so much. I'm a tea drinker.
Yep.
But lately I've been loving like a matcha with like a fruit puree in it. Like that has just been like so good. But I also love like a lavender latte. Anyways, we're going to go with the matcha. Rapid fire.
Today, that's the answer. What is a brand that you think is really nailing visibility right now?
Ooh.
Brand or personal brand?
Yeah, there's a few coming up right off the top of my head. I think I need to give a shout out to Christine, and I'm sorry if I butcher your last name, Samagard. She is killing it showing up lately. I'm so proud of how she has been showing up, and she's been bringing people along the journey of the rebrand. So I think she's doing it really, really well. I mean, the High Vibe women are also like gold standard of showing up well and showing up often. I think those are probably my two, like, they're doing it really well. They're both also social media managers. So there's a lot to be learned, like follow and don't copy, but like be inspired by what they're doing and learn because they've got their pulse on what's happening.
Perfect. What is your favorite way to feel instantly more confident?
Earrings, big earrings. I'm an earring girly and I feel naked without them. These are small today. Fit the slick back. Like slick back days go with small earrings, but big earrings, just it feels like, you know how some girls are like lipstick, like I feel ready to go out. That's me with earrings. So
I'm not going to lie. I was excited to see what earrings you were wearing today.
They're just little guys. They're cutie, but they're just
cute.
little today. Follow along
Yes.
on my socials and you'll see all the big ones. I have over 250 pairs. So I think that's it.
Yeah. What's one word that you would use to describe your personal brand?
Pressure. This is so hard. Probably bubbly or
Like
maybe
that.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like something in that realm of things, but or maybe okay, yeah, no, we're going to go with fun.
Fun. Okay. Amazing. And what is your dream 2026 partnership or collab?
Ooh, this is a hard one. Okay,
I
give me
feel
a
like
second
if
to
we
think about
speak
this.
it into existence here,
Yeah.
then maybe it'll happen.
A little, wouldn't it be cool if?
That's my favorite line.
I know, it's become mine too. Ooh, wouldn't it be cool if, like, are we talking like someone hiring me or a collaboration on like offer? Like what kind of collaboration are we going with
You
here?
pick. It could be like a dream client. It could be like a dream brand collaboration.
Okay. Low key, Whitney Levitt. She is from Mormon Wives, but also Dancing with the Stars, like all of that. It would be so cool to me if somehow she reached out to me or her people reached out to my people and were like, we would love for you to come in and photograph whatever she's up to next. Because she's up to something. She's just resigned from Mormon Wives and she's done her Broadway stint and they've just bought a new house somewhere. They haven't told us what state or anything. I'm like on the seat. Anyways, I'm definitely a trash TV girl. And so, but Whitney Levitt, I have loved her since day one. She had a little bit of a villain era, but I felt like she was just misunderstood. And I was right. Yeah. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's put it out there now.
Exactly. Wouldn't it be cool?
Right?
Whitney Levitt.
It's done.
It's done.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Victoria, for coming on and sharing all of your wisdom. I can't wait to hear what people think. And if you have any amazing takeaways that you had or anything like that, Victoria and I are both on Instagram all the time. Our DMs are always open, so feel free to send us a little message and let us know what you thought.
Absolutely.
I want to take a quick moment just to thank you so much for joining me in this space and just to encourage you that if there was anything that kind of sparked something for you or that you felt like somebody that you know maybe needed to hear, please feel free to share the episode. And if you are excited to hear more, go ahead and subscribe and listen to more of the episodes. I'm so excited that you're here and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.